What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for coming back and joining me on another video right here on YouTube. So today we are back with the Arsenal save. If you've been with us for the past couple of episodes, you'd have seen that we came to the end of season 3 and we lifted another Premier League trophy. And at the end of that episode, I did announce that this would be the final season. So we are going all out for glory. We are going to try and win as much silverware in this final season as possible. The first thing that we are aiming for is a Champions League. That is the one thing that is missing from our CV. Having won the Premier League twice now, I think it is time to turn our attention to that elusive Champions League. In today's episode, we have some new faces. We have gone to the 3rd of September 2025, and that means we are through another summer transfer window. We have been out, we have spent some cash, and we will show you exactly who we have spent the cash on. Plus, we'll run through the players that have gone out from the club, look at what finances are left, the club vision, and finally the squad to show you where those players fit in. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into this one and show you the signings that have come into the club in the summer. The first new face to arrive at the club during the summer transfer window was Thiago Almada. He's a 24-year-old Argentinian who stands at 5'7", and he's valued between 82 and 108 million pounds. Now, he was on the expensive side. We did have to fork out 88 million pounds to take him from Southampton, but looking at him, you can see he's a perfect example of a player that can enhance our squad. Plays anywhere across that middle attacking three, can play as a makeshift striker, can also play as a central midfielder. Looking at his stats in terms of the technicals, dribbling, first touch, long shots, passing, penalty taking and technique, all above 16. In terms of the mentals, decisions, flair, off the ball, vision, all above 16 too. And then when you look at the physicals, he has good pace at 14, acceleration of 15, agility and balance. He's everything you would want in a player that is probably going to be one of those attacking midfielders through the centre, or killing people coming in off of the wing and dribbling past defenders for fun. It comes with some player traits of runs with the ball through the centre, so as I said, through the middle or coming from outside to in, moves into the channels, curls the ball, comes deep to get the ball, cuts inside from both wings. So perfect for what we want. The versatility is there. The price might have been a little bit high, but no problems whatsoever in terms of the money we have laid out. I think Thiago Almada is going to be one that makes us take that next step in terms of hunting down the Champions League. The next player through the doors at Arsenal in the summer transfer window was Alejandro Pozo. He is a 26-year-old Spaniard, came from Almeria for around £31 million. Can play anywhere on the right hand side of the pitch, which is perfect for us. We need a player really who can slot in and give Bukayo Saka a bit of help. He's pretty much the only one who can play on that right hand side, but as you can see, Pozo possesses all of the things that you would need to be able to play this position. He has good pace and acceleration, he has good crossing, dribbling, he has passing and technique. In terms of the mentals, he has good work rate and off the ball, also good determination, and he's a player who comes in basically as a squad member. He wanted quite a big package in terms of his contract. He wanted 100 grand a week, which is a little bit above what I wanted to pay, but I think he's the right player to help us fill in the gaps when Saka isn't available to play, and the fact he can also cover in another couple of positions really will help the club going forward. So Alejandro Pozo, £31 million, was the second transfer in the summer window. The final signing of the summer transfer window then is Ciro Immobile. He is a player that we were looking at a few seasons ago, couldn't prize him away from Lazio, and finally we have got our man. He is a proven goal scorer. You can see just by looking at his past at Lazio, 199 goals in 322 games. It does say he's a regular starter, but maybe past his best. I don't think that is the case at all. He has been scoring goals regularly in Serie A. I mean, if we look at the most recent season, you can see he scored 18 in 38. And if he can get that kind of production in the Premier League, he will be absolutely sound. He is now 35, so He's coming to the end of the best of his playing days, but he's valued at 28 to 30 million. We only paid 15 to get him away from Lazio, so he could turn out yet to be a bit of a bargain. Looking at the stats, still has perfect finishing, first touch, heading, penalty taking, technique in the mentals, anticipation, determination, off the ball, teamwork, work rate in the physicals. Pace is 16, acceleration of 15, balance of 16, natural fitness of 20. Considering he is the age he is, this still looks like an elite player that I think is going to go and score goals. He has had a bit of a checkered past in his history in terms of being a finisher. I mean, he struggled at Borussia Dortmund. He didn't score many goals when he was in Spain. But hopefully, if he can get over that kind of homesickness when he's away from Italy, I think he'll be a sound player in the Premier League. Hopefully, he's going to be that player that bridges the gap between us being a good team in the Champions League and an elite team that can go and challenge for the trophy. So, that is all the transfer business that we have done coming in. There are a few transfers to show you going out. If we go and look at the transfer history. So, there are quite a few players on this right-hand side. Did we sell any before the window turned over? So, the biggest one of all was Emil Smith-Rowe. We had a few problems with him in terms of first team football. Couldn't really get him in, and then he wasn't getting ahead of the likes of Jesus or Dybala or Odegaard in terms of the positions he wanted to play. So unfortunately for us, we have moved him on because he asked to go, and we got £33 million for him. Some of the other names that have left the club then, Lino Sosa, Henry Timmy Davies, Junior Adamu. It didn't really work out. He wasn't developing as quickly as I would have liked. We've let him go to Olympiacos for 10.75 million. I think that is sound business. We only paid 8 for him. Zach Orr, Russell Wilson, Conrad De La Fuente, we took a hit on him, letting him go to Zenit St. Petersburg for £4.9 million. Bit sad I couldn't get him into the team, but again, the players that I mentioned for Smith Rowe are the exact same players that Conrad De La Fuente couldn't beat into the team, so kind of had to happen. Dig Beriku's gone out on loan to Grue Firth. Andre Santos has left. He has gone to Red Bull Leipzig. I mean, we bought him in. How much did we actually pay for him? We paid 20 million. We've turned over it into being 34. Another one that when we're bringing in midfielders, and we now have the likes of Goretzka, Bellingham, and those kinds of players, he really isn't going to be beating those out for a starting slot. So we just kind of felt it was the time. He had asked for the move. We just allowed it to go ahead. Cade Cowell's gone out on loan to Luton. Probably a bit late in the day now for the Americans to be developing in this save, but keep an eye out for them. They can turn into world beaters. Marquinhos has gone to Olympiacos for 12.5 million. Matheus Cunha has gone to Marseille on a loan for a £1.1 million fee. It's a transfer that has not worked out, and if I had that time again, I don't think I would make the signing. It seemed to make sense at the time, but it really didn't work out. And then the last big transfer was Gabriel Martinelli. Didn't really want to lose him, but he was throwing all kinds of paddies about not getting game time, even though we were playing him in the Premier League, and we just couldn't get him to a point where he was settled at the club. So we thought if we were bringing players in like Thiago Almada, we may as well move Martinelli on to fund them, and that's exactly what has happened. He's gone to Parthenhope, or Napoli as they are called in the game. So that is all the transfer business done. As you can see, transfers out, we recouped 117 million. We spent 31 in this part, plus the 88 and the 15 for Ciro Immobile. So we have had quite a big outlay going out, but we've recouped money coming in. So yeah, it's been a successful transfer window, and I think this is the one where we bridge the gap between, as I said, being that good team to being an excellent team. So let's show you what's left in the kitty. We're going to go through the transfers, the club vision, and then show you where those players fit into the squad, although you're pretty much able to guess just by looking at the players they are. So yeah, let's jump into the finances. Okay, so with the big money transfers that have come in and the big money transfers that have gone out kind of offsetting each other, at this point on the 3rd of September, we still have 90 million in the bank, £48.1 million available as a transfer budget if we require it, 4.25 million as a wage budget, and 3.8 of that is being spent, call it 3.9. yeah, the finances are finally looking good. We're not having to rely constantly on Champions League money or having to constantly turn over where the overall balance is lower than the transfer budget and those kinds of things. Plus, it means taking £48.1 million into the January transfer window if we are struggling or if we need any type of player. But I really can't see that happening. In terms of the club vision, let's jump into that and have a look at that as well. So, in terms of the actionable objectives, working within the wage budget, sign players to sell for a profit, we're doing. Grow the club's reputation, we are doing. And spend the original transfer budget, they're delighted, even though we've got £48 million left. Looking at the board, their feedback is a B. So, they are delighted with the financial aspects of the Lino Sosa sale. Very pleased with the atmosphere in the changing room. Pleased with the financial aspect of the Marquinhos deal. But disappointed with the finances involved to loan out Brian Ocko. So, yeah, that's a pretty much a thumbs up. Overall, from the supporters, we get a B. They're delighted with the attacking football. Delighted with the entertaining football. Play high tempo pressing football, they're pleased with that. In terms of making the most of set pieces, reserving judgment, and then support expectations going forwards. Then finish above Tottenham, finish above Man United, finish above Chelsea. They're all reserving judgment. Become the most reputable team in England, we are on course. Qualify for the Champions League, which we have done every single season we have been at the club. Congratulations on winning the Premier League Manager of the Month. Very pleased with the departure of Marquinhos and pleased with the departure of Tom Smith. Disappointed with the sale of Andre Santos. Disappointed with Gabriel Martinelli and disappointed with Emile Smith-Rowe. So, of course, any fan would be disappointed when 3 top quality players left the club. But all of them had circumstances around them where they didn't get first team or weren't going to get first team, and we had to move them on. So, not too concerned about the fact that the fans aren't happy. I really think they should be happy with the players we brought in to replace those players anyway. One thing I have been missing out on, and the thing I'm going to show you next, is obviously when a new season kicks off, that means that we've played league games, and I completely forgot that we've got to show you the schedule. So let's jump into the schedule. Let's show you how we have kicked off the new season. Here we go then. The first game of our season, well, the first proper game of our season was the Chelsea game in the Community Shield. They had Justin Kluivert sent off after 26 minutes and Thiago Almeida scoring and Bukayo Saka scoring to give us a 2-0 victory at Wembley to win the Community Shield. Next up, the Premier League kicked off and we beat Liverpool 2-1 in the opening game. Vinicius Jr. now plays for Liverpool, which is quite scary, but Giorgio Scalvini and Gabriel Martinelli before his move got on the score sheet to give us the victory. We then beat Newcastle 3-1 up at Newcastle. 3-1 victory that included a debut goal for Ollie Carter, a young regen, however you want to call them, coming through from the youth academy. Not quite the finished article, but he's at one of those seasons now at the age of 18 where he's progressing through the under-21s, needs some first team football to take the next step. Put him straight in and he scored on his debut. The other goals coming from Nico Schlotterbeck and Martin Odegaard. Arkadiusz Milik scoring for Newcastle. And then finally, the last game before we come back was a 2-0 victory against Wolves. Schlotterbeck and Gabriel Jesus getting the goals. Rayan Aït-Nouri getting sent off for Wolves. So, if you're quick at maths, you will work out we have 9 points. And that means when we show you the Premier League, we are currently sat in 3rd place, albeit on goal difference. Now, looking at that, Manchester City have a 17 goal difference after 3 games, which is absolutely absurd. We have a 5 goal difference, but the important factor is we are on 9 points and there are teams that aren't. If we go into the stages and show you exactly how that works out. So Man City have played 3, won 3, scored 18, only conceded the 1. We have played 3, won 3, scored 7, conceded 2 for a goal difference of 5 and 9 points. So not a problem at all with those stats at the start. We are looking to move on, obviously. Champions League is where we want to be improving, and we have this crazy league thing that will be kicking off shortly, and I'm pretty sure we can make it into the upper part of the Champions League to qualify for the next round. FA Cup begins after Christmas in England as always. We have drawn West Ham in the third round of the Carabao Cup, and we have already won the Community Shield. So a bright start to the season. The last thing to show you is what the squad will look like. So let's jump across to the squad planner and have a look at how these new signings will fit into the team. We have now landed in the squad planner then, and this is currently what Billy McKinley thinks is our best starting 11 plus our best youth 11. So he's got Ramsdale in goal, that's fine. We've got Mulaney now as the youth goalkeeper. Zinchenko at left back with Barco, that's fine too. Two players, like one is a natural in the position, and then Barco was brought in as a youngster to kind of develop into it. Gabriel and Walters. Saliba and Scalvini, which is good because Saliba, Scalvini and Gabriel have all played games at the same time. White and Juma. Juma's a good looking prospect. Probably going to, well, we would be bringing him through. He would be getting first team football and game time if the save was continuing. We've got Bellingham and Ebongwe in the ball winning midfielder slot. On the right hand side, we got Bukayo Saka and Russell Wilson, who has now gone out on loan to get some first team experience. In the Mazzala position, Leon Goretzka and Charlie Patino. On the inside forward, at the top of the formation, we have got Thiago Almeida coming in straight away and Cade Cowell. Then we've got Odegaard and Arda Güler in the AM, with Gabriel Jesus and Endrick in the attacking or advanced forward position. So looking at that, we have got Ciro Immobile who can play as a forward. Gabriel Jesus can shift to the left hand side. Thiago Almeida can come inside also. So those three slots will be interchangeable. Right back, as I said, or right midfield, he can play anywhere. Pozo will get game time in that position that Bukayo Saka is playing. So it all will look good and it will work itself out once we get there. If we look at the assistant report, again, so that is the team that he would pick. And then going from there, it's just a case now of what do we do in January. We've got £48 million to spend. Will we need to spend it? Can we continue to move the team forwards? As I said, all eyes will be on the Champions League for this season, so if we can go out and win that, it'll be fantastic. If not, we're going to end the save without a Champions League win. But if we get another Premier League win, a treble of Premier League wins, when I put my teeth back in, will more than suffice for a lack of a Champions League. So looking forward, we've got a few episodes left to go. We're going to work our way in the next episode to the beginning of January, so just before the transfer window opens, and then it'll be the January transfer window, and then we will have the run-in to the end of the season. So that's all to look forward to. If you're still with me at this point of the video though, firstly, I want to say a big thank you. Secondly, if you don't mind hitting the like and subscribe button to help the channel, it would be fantastic. I've seen such growth on YouTube in the past couple of months. It's been fantastic, and I really do appreciate every single person who takes the time to come here and support the channel. I really do. See it in the comment section. I always reply with thank you for supporting the channel. It means a lot to me. Before you go, don't forget to check the channel out for other things. We have hints and tips, Wonder Kids, Let's Plays, tactics. There's something for everybody on the channel. But for this one, I'm going to end it there. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the Arsenal Save.